Working in the dark against your fellow man. Blood is sure as God, made black and white. What's done in the dark will be brought to the light.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Monday, 7/30. That's July 30th, 2018. All right, I'm your host, Michael. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for stopping into the Patriot Hour. Got some new QAnon, Q clearance, breadcrumbs, drops, updates, folks. If you don't know what it is, take a look around the World Wide Web. It's bigger than you know. Everybody's kind of starting to hear about it. All right, so the last one we went over verifies that, 1761 in the series. This came yesterday, but it's bigger than you realize. They know the real traffic is generating, connecting people. And we got a Time article that goes over the most influential internet booms of the year, 25, top 25, and QAnon is one. Stay the course. Where we go one, we go all. All right, so post 1762, folks. This came at 11:11 this morning, just before noon, just before high noon, all right? What happens when California is in serious debt and lost priority aid from the Fed Gov due to sanctuary status? Illegal, right? Light fires, declare state of emergency, and request billions from the Fed. Why did POTUS reject in the past? Sick people. The more you know. All right, we got some articles here. Washington Post, National Security Justice Department sues California over sanctuary laws that aid in the U.S. that they aid in the U.S. illegally. We got a Forbes article here. 4 reasons California is unsustainable. In the L.A. Times, California wildfire funds. So it looks like they're suggesting these fires have been started on purpose. They seek aid. We should have sanctuary cities for citizens of the United States that pay taxes and live here. They should be all of them should be sanctuary cities for us, for law-abiding citizens. And California being unsustainable. All right, they have set the trends for the last 20 years throughout the U.S. They are the ones that pitched the most about, illegals harboring them, saying that they have work that nobody else wants to do, but yet nobody's gotten really any richer out of California. You still have 4 to 5, 7 people living in one house. The wages hasn't really come up. Yeah, they've done the work, but I don't see anything real good coming out of it. And if that was a standard, something good should have came out of that. Some numbers, something positive. Nothing. We've got 20 years to prove it. All right, so we can click on these. Justice Department sues, like I said, California. I kind of read the headline. And I see they're just jumbled up with ads, and it's just not going to work. All right, here we go again, 1763. Only other one that came out. This was at 11:16, just a few minutes later. Those you are taught to trust the most. All right, we got the Pope here. Australian bishop convicted of sex abuse covers it up and resigns. Vatican City, Pope Francis on Monday accepted the resignation of an Australian archbishop convicted in criminal court of covering up the sexual abuse of children by priests. All right, we know the story. This has been happening for a decade now, all over the country, all over the world. After decades of silence, nuns talk about abuse by priest. Vatican City, the nun no longer goes to confession regularly after an Italian priest forced himself on her while she was at her most vulnerable, recounting her sins to him in a university classroom nearly 20 years ago. Okay. United States Department of Justice website here, Project Safe Childhood. Project Safe Childhood is a nationwide initiative to combat the growing epidemic of child sexual exploitation and abuse launched in May of 2006 by the Department of Justice, led by U.S. Attorney's Offices and Criminal Division, Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section, CEOS. Project Safe Childhood marshals federal, state, and local resources to better locate, apprehend, and prosecute individuals who exploit children via the internet, as well as to identify and rescue victims. Justice News, some releases here. Former Virginia high school science teacher sentenced to 23 years in prison for producing child pornography. Another one on the 30th, Jacksonville. So you got from Virginia down to Jacksonville. Man sentenced to 7 years in federal prison for distributing child sex abuse videos over the internet. A couple here on the 27th. Montgomery County man pleads guilty possession of child pornography. July 27th, we got a man arrested for receipt and distribution of child, another man admits to enticement of a minor. There's probably more, but that is enough. You go there for yourself and check that out. So dark to light. All right. This is what we got to prepare for here, folks. Those that we trust the most, those that have been the loudest, are the most guilty most of the times here. All right, we're not jumping any conclusions on that, but these ones that are in the public view, your favorite movie stars, your favorite politicians, your favorite actresses, TV shows, and they appear to be really loud for no reason, and it doesn't make sense. We got to get Trump out of here, and they're you're just like, man, that doesn't really sound right. And well, they're in fear. The ship's sinking, going down, and they're screaming the whole way. All right. So, like we've said, don't get too attached. The light is coming. It's going to be flipped on, and you're going to see lots of cockroaches scrambling. Lots of them get real loud and try to convince you that, what you're seeing isn't right, or it's not how it seems. It was an accident. Don't buy into it, all right, folks? Use your best judgment, all your collective research, everything you're learning, and apply it. We're starting to get people that are just trying to be last minute, you can roll with the dark for a long time, be bad, and finally see the light. And then you're going to expose everything that's been going on, everything you partook in. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Some of these politicians, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable times. I have done the research. I never thought this was possible, but these people are being exposed at an all-time rate, more than ever before. That's why you had these people screaming and yelling. I mean, we know that, the Department of, the Justice Department, the FBI, if they were truly, seriously worried about crimes and things they should be investigating, they had a clear-cut one right in front of them. And as of July 16, you had Mr. Comey come out, do an unauthorized speech to the public, and sit there and list the crimes that she was guilty of, and then at the very end say, but nobody would ever, do this, and we're not going to prosecute. I don't recommend charges. And, so That right there was what could they have done in July of 16? By that point, the DNC and Hillary had worked their way up to the top of the Democratic Party, cheated everyone out of it, and so it was only her versus Trump at this point, July of 16. Trump had beat everyone out in his, category for Republicans. They would have found her guilty at that point. That would have ensured his win. What are they going to do? Bring Bernie back? So it's not so much that they maybe, if the whole story is correct, of course they were covering for it. But even if you take all that out of it and just act like, even if there was no kind of anything, just them doing that, they would have had to say, yeah, there's charges and we're going to arrest her right now. It only leaves Trump standing there. They would have ensured his win. They don't charge her with anything. They had a chance to see if she could win. She still didn't. So it doesn't matter. But these are some of the things we got to look at. Things that were, huge and getting ready to come back tenfold. Hoover's investigation is down to final days, I would believe. Gotta pay attention this week. We're expecting some very big things getting ready to come down and be exposed. All right? Huge things we've been waiting on. All right, folks? So let's stay the path. Stay the course. All right? All right, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour, hitting just about the 15-minute mark, so we'll shut her down here. I'll be back here later this evening with another update video. All right. God bless, Godspeed each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here real soon for the Patriot Hour update.
Working in the dark against your fellow man. Blood is sure as God, made black and white. What's done in the dark will be brought to the light.